Welcome back to another episode of Ways. My name is Mohammed here with the co-host Osama. Osama, how are you doing today?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
I'm good. I'm
I,
good as always.
today I went to the gym, so I feel really happy, bro. I'm not gonna lie, but today we have a special guest. I've been listening to his music since 2016, 2018, around that time for the longest period of time. And actually, BK, who I also know hit me up and it's like, yo, you should think of hitting Sal Houdini up. I'm like, you know what, I have to, because I've been listening to his music for a while. I'm glad I did. He just hit a million streams on Spotify. So Houdini, welcome, bro.
Thank you guys for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Where can our fans follow you on
You
your?
got any on the gram? I'm on the gram. Spotify, Apple Music, the major streaming platforms. But I'm on IG though. I'm on Instagram.
I want everybody from our fans, from my friends, to go follow this guy, listen to his music because his music
Yes,
is
sir. Yes,
undeniably
sir.
amazing.
I appreciate that, brother. Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome, bro.
What's
You're
up, guys? How
welcome.
you guys doing?
Honestly, I'm blessed, bro. Honestly, like I've been hyped up for this podcast for the longest time. I know we've had conversations back and forth, and I know it's all happened on short notice, but I'm quite excited for this podcast.
I am too. I know we were supposed to do this like, what, 2, 3 days ago?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just it's
But
been
honestly, like
hectic,
it's
man. It's
bro,
been hectic.
honestly, I don't blame you. Like you're a busy guy, like million
It's
streams
not
on
even busy, bro.
Spotify.
It's things just come up last minute, and it's like,
I
damn, like I
feel
got to
that.
take care of this.
I
Like
feel
right now
that.
too, I'm just coming back right now from Long Island. I wasn't even here, and then I was like, damn, I need to make it back, and I'm not postponing this podcast
I
again.
appreciate that, bro. I
Definitely not.
swear.
I had to, bro. I had to. I drove back. We got a nasty storm right now too, but
Oh shit,
yeah, it's
damn.
cool.
It's
It's
actually
cool.
not. It's nice out here in Toronto.
Yeah, no, out here it's like it's wild out here for some reason.
Oh
But
damn, bro.
yes, sir, we're here. We made it. We
actually,
For
finally made
that's
real.
it.
that's interesting because you said you're in Long Island. So obviously you live in New York.
Yes.
Were you born and raised in New York, or you just moved there
No,
recently, or you moved over again?
I was born and raised in Brooklyn actually.
Brooklyn. All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Which part
We're
of
big.
Brooklyn?
Flatbush area.
Flatbush. Flatbush
Yes,
does
sir.
not play.
Flatbush. Flatbush is a place. Went to school there. If anybody from New York is listening, we went to Midwood. So that's the high school we went to. That's where it all actually started. To be honest with
Really?
you, yes, sir. That's where I
Really?
Isn't
first actually officially started making music. High school.
isn't Mike Tyson from Flatbush?
Mike Tyson is he? I know Biggie's from here. Um, Mike Tyson is he from Flatbush? There's a lot of people from Flatbush. There's Bobby's from Flatbush. Bobby Shmurda.
Yeah, Bobby
Uh,
Shmurda.
Yeah.
you got the Flatbush Zombies, obviously Flatbush.
Classic, legendary
Um,
group.
yes, sir. And
You actually cut out, man. Yeah, now you're
Yeah,
back. Now
you're
you're back.
back.
Don't
You're
okay,
worry.
back.
yes,
You're back.
yes, yes, yes.
I'll
So
punch you back in.
yeah, I actually don't know if Mike Tyson is from Brooklyn, but if he is, that's crazy.
No,
I
no,
wanna.
Tyson's from Brooklyn. I know he's from Brooklyn. I
I
know
want to
he's
go
from Brooklyn.
back to something you said. You said you started doing music when you were in high school.
Yeah, I actually started a really long time ago, and nobody really knows this. I started I think over 10 years ago, and
How old were you?
I was, bro. To be honest with you, I was probably like 15, 16 years old.
Damn.
Yeah, I just turned 27 this year, so it's been over 10 years for sure.
And how would you describe your journey from like 15, 17 years old to now?
Well, looking back at it, um, I'll be honest with you. As a teenager, I was stubborn as
Yeah.
hell. So you know how people say, "Oh, the past me would look at me now and be proud."
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
past me would look at me now and be like, "Bro, you're like, what the hell? You should be doing way better than what you're doing right now." So it's like, I'm happy with my accomplishments, but it's still, to me, to other people, they say it. They're like, "Oh, like look, you have all, look at what you achieved. Like you're like out there," and I'm just like, no, like this is nothing. This is not enough. This is just like, this is not even the tip of the ice right now. So I think the past me would tell me just like, you could do better. So definitely would would keep pushing on this because it's over 10 years. It's a long time. It's a long time, but it just actually started like going off for me. I think about 5 years ago when I dropped "I Keep Falling,"
One of my
which
favorite songs, by the way.
everybody loves that song, man. Everybody, I hear about it till this day. But
Would
that's
you say that's your favorite song that you've made this
absolutely
far?
not, absolutely not, absolutely not.
What's your favorite song that you made this far?
My favorite song that I made so far, to be honest with you, I don't have a favorite song, but I can tell you a favorite album of mine. And I think it's got to be Wish Me Well, hands down. Wish Me Well, like, I was actually listening back on Wish Me Well not too long ago, just actually listening as, like, not Sal Houdini, but listening as, like, let me just listen to this guy's music. Just listening to the things I'm saying, the production, because a lot of people don't know this, that I do everything myself. So I write my music, I produce my music, make the beats, I mix and master. Everything's all on my own. So just listening to that album is like, wow, like this is something that I made. Like this is crazy. And I think currently right now it's my top album. So it's crazy. It's crazy. But I Keep Falling is my least favorite song. I'll tell you guys that much right
Really?
now. Right. I like,
It
bro,
makes
like
sense.
every day, literally every day. That's like the one song that everybody, and it's like, look how much music I have out. And then you're coming
Yeah.
to me with I Keep Falling. It's like, oh, can we listen to the other songs? Can we check out the other? Can we give love to the other music also? So,
Do
but I
you
always have love. Have
did
love
you
for I Keep Falling.
did you expect? Because a lot of people, for example, will drop a song in their head like which they don't like and it does really well. For you, was that the same thing where you didn't expect I Keep Falling to do that same damage for you?
I actually didn't, which is crazy because to me, I don't. I like. I love making music. It's just
Yeah.
something about making music. I don't really think about, oh, is this gonna go here or is this gonna go here? And then at the time when I was making I Keep Falling, I was working with this DJ from the radio station out here, Power 105.1, DJ Flipstar. Shout out to him. He heard it and he fell in love with it. He's like, you need to give me this song. You need to give me this song, and I will put it on the radio. And I was like, dude, I don't know how I feel about this song. Because even while I was making, because I made that song in literally 5 minutes.
Wow.
It was a joke. It wasn't
Whoa.
even an actual song. Yeah, I swear.
You even take it seriously. Jeez.
Yeah, and then it was like, and he loved it, and he's like, I want this song. I want to play it on the radio. After that, I don't know what happened, and I have no idea how it just skyrocketed. It caught like fire, like the wildfire just spread, and it was insane. It went to places that I would have never expected it to go, like the Middle East. It went to Europe. It went out here. It was a little like, oh yeah, we heard this song, but now these days it's like, oh yeah, like we love this song, and it's like, damn,
It
like
did pretty well in Toronto. I remember when I first heard
yeah,
it.
I remember Canada actually too. Yeah,
Some
Canada
girl
was
puts it on her
crazy.
story, and I was like, I said like, yo, what's this song? I need to know right now.
Yeah, that's always how it works. It's
And
always a lot of people actually tell me too. They're like, I heard it on a story or I heard it on a post,
yeah,
and I had to. And there's people that come on like, and I'll read the YouTube comments once in a while, and they'll be like, after 2 years, I finally found this song, and I'm like, damn, two
it's
years later.
it's funny too because when I first heard your like music, I never had Spotify, so it was just like I would go to YouTube and I forgot.
Yeah,
And then obviously it's like in my head, when I had Spotify, I'm like, I've been looking for this song for some. I forgot the name. And
yeah,
then this girl posted, I'm like, yo, that's the song I've been
that's
trying to
it.
find.
That's the song. That is the song.
And then like obviously I started downloading all your music. Like I started hearing like all your new music, which I'm a love because I feel like with your music too, in my opinion, a lot of artists sound so same. You're always sounding different. Like I feel like your sound is always different, always a different vibe.
I
Like you can have a
appreciate
club
that.
vibe, a night vibe, you can have a day
Yes,
vibe.
yes.
And for me, that's what I like. A lot of artists that I find, I'm like, man, your music sounds the same. But I feel like I showed one of my friends, and he started bumping your music. He's like, oh, show me
Nice.
Houdini's music, and he started putting Be My Girl is like one of his favorite songs, actually. Believe it or not.
Yeah, Be My Girl is one of my least favorite also. I won't lie. I'll tell you right now, the first few songs that I dropped when like everything like around the I Keep Falling era are like my least favorite. I put it to the side. So, but like Tell Me Now is another one also that people like they connect with I Keep Falling because they dropped at the same time. So was Be My Girl, and I just go, yeah, like like my music's really not that similar to the old, I Keep Falling, because it's evolved.
Yeah,
It's it
100%.
it's 100, like it's not, I wouldn't say it's 100% different, but it's, if you listen to even the quality of I Keep Falling to the music that I release now, you'll be like, yeah, there's a huge change, and just you see the progression. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, but
But
Be
I
My
think
Girl was a good song though.
100%.
I remember it. It's good. I don't listen to it. I'll be honest with you. You posted it on your story
I
to
did.
promote the podcast, and I opened it up. I was like, did this guy really play Be My Girl? Out of all the songs I just dropped, he chose Be My Girl all the way
it's
from
it's
2016. I was like, all right,
it's
I'll allow it.
yeah, I'll let
We
it
allow it.
slide. It's
We
funny
allow
because
it.
I guess one of our mutual friends, BK, he reposted that, but he picked a different song.
Yeah, shout out to BK. Shout out to BK. Mo, I actually see Mo a lot of the times where we're around the same area, to be honest with you.
He's a cool dude. I met him off of Clubhouse. Like, never met him in person ever, but he seems like he's an
Mo is
amazing
a
guy.
very genuine, good-hearted person. So shout out to Mo. I
Yeah,
know
one
damn
hundred
well he's
percent.
gonna be listening to this, and I got nothing but love for Mo. Mo is an
His
awesome
ass
guy.
better be listening to it, bro.
He better be, Mo. If you listen, you better be listening. You better be sharing this too, bro.
I have a question for you.
What's
So
up, bro?
obviously you said one thing that captivated me about you is you said if you're 15-year-old, if you look back at yourself, you said your 15-year-old self wouldn't be happy with where you're like do more, do more, do more. So
Yes.
what would you say is your process with your music? Like, do you go listen back to your older music and you say what sound can I do different? What can I do differently? Like, what's your process when you're going down making your music? Like, is it you on your own, or do you write down stuff before? Like, what do you do?
I do everything on my own, but the thing is, so I'll start off with this. So when I do make music, I have a crew of my guys. These are my guys that I grew up with for like 20 years. And like I'll show them the song, I'll pass them the songs around. And the thing is they give me genuine like, oh like yeah, this is, which is actually crazy. Going back to I Keep Falling, my best friend was the one that actually called it out and said this song is going to be the song that makes you.
Yeah, oh
So,
damn.
That's
and
amazing.
he was absolutely right, which is crazy. And now I go back to him, and I, because he was into the music also. But as for everything like that I make, I did go back once. I'll be honest with you. I went back only once, which was for this album, for the one that hit 1 million streams on Spotify. And it was because the thing is, it got to a point where fans were like, okay, now all your music's starting to sound the same. You have like 3, 4 albums. And then I switched it up. And I started making songs like It's About Time, and like just like these hard like trap songs, and like I'm just saying like things that like I basically went from a singer to a rapper.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then at that time when I did that transition, they're like, okay, no, we want your old music now. So I was like, damn, I can't really keep these guys happy. Let me just, so I was like, okay, I got an idea. Let me go back to my old music. Let me see what I can do. Try to mix it up with the new sound. Basically take the old sound, update it, and that's the only time that I went back to my old music. That album was the fastest streaming album for me. So I think that was probably the best thing that I did so far. But as for like now, like I don't think I would go back to my old music, just because I have this habit where I make a lot of music. So once I drop the songs, I don't listen to them.
Hmm.
So because I'm just constantly listening to
Yeah.
them for months and weeks,
Yeah.
and I have it on me. It's like I'm the only one with these songs, and I'm listening to it because I have to listen to it to know, like, do I have to tweak something? Do I have to fix something? Do I want to add something? Do I want to take something out?
Hmm.
And then it's like, just listening to it, it's like, okay, it's new for everybody else, but it's like, I already had the song for so long. So
No, for real.
once it's out, I just start working right away again on new music. Because it's like, okay, I got bored of this song. Let me make something else. So
it's actually insane how you said that you don't go back listen to your old music because I
I
think
don't.
me and more of the same way in the sense where when a podcast drops, I actually don't go back and listen to it because in my head I kind of know how I performed, how I what I said. Like I don't have
Exactly.
to go back. I
Exactly.
feel like
Exactly.
if you're your own biggest critic, you know if a song is gonna do well. You know if you did well on a song. You know if it's gonna do well for you, or like not maybe not do well for you necessarily, but you're just your biggest critic. Like I hate going back and people say you don't listen to your stuff. I'm like, no, I don't. I'm
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
unless
Absolutely.
I need it for like a snippet or I need a certain part from a song. That's the
Yeah.
only time
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to that episode. But this one for sure I'm gonna go back and listen to because I feel like we're having such an amazing conversation that I'm not
Absolutely.
able to take it in. But usually
No.
like with
No.
certain other
Absolutely.
episodes, I just don't go back to listen to.
I just want to say that you guys are the first podcast I've ever done. So I do appreciate you guys giving me this opportunity. This is a very special podcast for me because, like I said, I've never done a podcast before, and you guys are the first one. So this is one that I know I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. So thank
That
you for
actually
that. I
means a
do
lot to
appreciate
me
that.
because
I appreciate that.
you're one of my favorite artists.
No, no, I do appreciate you
Thank you so
guys.
much.
I do appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity to come on here and just feeling like I'm good enough to be on here. I do appreciate that.
You're
So thank you.
overqualified, man.
No, 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 not at all, man. I still got a lot of work to do. I got a long way to go right now. A long way to go.
The funny thing is, like a lot of artists when they start out, especially like rappers, they always have like an original name, then they
Yeah,
change it.
yeah.
Was your name the same the whole time, or do you have like original name and you changed it later on?
No, my artist name has always been Sal Houdini.
How did you get that name?
Always. So my uncle actually wanted to name me, my oldest uncle from my mom's side wanted to name me after this king. And I'll be honest with you, I really don't know how to pronounce his name the proper way. And I don't want to butcher his name, but you guys know this guy, King Saladin or something like that?
Salahuddin.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
that's his name. That's his name.
Yeah.
So, and my actual name is Dean.
Oh,
Yes. My name is not actually Sal or Sal Houdini. My real name is Dean. So I was like, okay, there's everyone like that I was a fan of had like stage names. So and this is music going back. Like I wasn't at the time listening to like no one was out like Little Baby or nobody was out at the time. Like Lil Wayne. You look at Lil Wayne, you look at Jay-Z, and like they have stage names.
of course, of course.
So it was like, and I grew up on all of that music. I grew up on like crazy real hip hop and R&B, back to like Aaliyah days, Destiny's Child, B2K, and all these guys, and like Jagged Edge. And it was like, okay, I need a name, basically like a double life kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but that's where the name Sal Houdini came
It's actually
from.
a sick. First of all, a sick story behind
Yes,
that name.
yes. Not a lot of people know this story though.
And that's actually a good question, Mo, I swear to God. Because in my head, I was like, I want to ask that, and I'm just like, if I get too far, I have no idea.
No,
But
that's a lot of people actually don't know this, and they do ask this often. Like, how do you, what is your? They assume my actual name is Sal Houdini. They think that's my last name, Houdini, and I'm just like, dude, I'm like Middle Eastern, right?
Yeah.
Why would I have like a last name named Houdini? And I'm just like, no, that's not my last name. So,
but
yeah.
it's kind of ambiguous too. It's like your name is like people like someone will look. It's like, is that your actual name? It's actually, first of all, if it was your name, it's actually sick. And two, the fact
No,
that
absolutely, yeah.
the fact that
Because
it's like
Sal
your
is a very,
persona.
very Sal, like it's like an Italian name.
Italian.
It's yeah. So
Yeah.
that's realistic. But then they go, like this one person was like, oh, is your name actually Sal Houdini? Like if your last name is Houdini, I don't know how I feel about that. And I was like, oh. I was like, damn. I was like, yeah, thankfully it's not. That's not my real name. So I was in the clear with that. But yeah, it's crazy.
You mentioned Lil Wayne and Jay-Z. Are those two guys that influenced you to make music?
Honestly, just like the 90s and the early 2000s, there's so many people who have influenced me to making music. Like there's a huge list, bro. There's honestly a huge list. And just watching, like growing up on watching music videos on MTV, being at home, like we had this huge like set, like it was a tape recorder, like with the huge speakers, the old school stuff.
Yeah.
So we had that in the apartment.
Couldn't lift the TV, bro. You couldn't lift the TV.
Exactly.
When Prodigy said, "I'll throw a TV at you," that was a real line. He meant that, bro.
You had to.
Exactly.
Not only could you not hold the TV, you had to get the antennas, bro, and get that right
Yes, 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 yes. You have to take the antennas. Sometimes antennas were connected to the back of the TV, and you have to kind of like
signal. For
the
real.
signal's kind of bad, so you got to fix it a little. But yeah, like growing up on like VH1, MTV, Pimp My Ride days and like MTV
Classic.
Crib days. Yeah, so that's just listening to a bunch of
Who?
like real music was like it was
Yeah.
just like okay, Justin Timberlake was out, Usher was out, and it was just you hear these like strings, like the instruments in the back are real
Yeah,
that they're using at the
real,
time. So
real.
that catches like I just fell in love with this so much. Just strings in general, I'll tell you guys, speak to me so beautifully. Strings and piano
Okay.
speak to me like crazy. Guitar at times too, it depends, because like a lot of people they like you could play different things with guitar. There's an electric guitar, you can play like crazy rock music, but then there's like this song that Young Blue has out. What's it called, man?
There's a lot
You're
of songs
still
out right now.
mine, your mind still or something like that.
No Drake?
Yeah, so that guitar in
Yeah.
there is just the melody in there is just so beautiful. Like those type of guitars, I love those. So
Who would you say are your favorite artists currently right now? That like you probably want to have a feature with down the road.
I have to start off with The Weeknd. The Weeknd for sure. The
Yo,
Weeknd is growing up on not growing up, but like I remember. So it's The Weeknd and Drake. The OVO and XO days is like those are my favorite, hands down. Like my sound, my go-to. Like today too, I was on the highway and I was just listening to Nothing Was the Same. The whole album. I was like, this is
that's a classic album in my opinion.
that's honestly my favorite album, hands down. But The Weeknd, the trilogy, like I remember I was in high school, the trilogy came out and like
Man, when that
yeah,
dropped, nothing was the same.
yes,
No
nothing
pun
was the
intended.
same. Exactly.
Nothing was the same,
Exactly.
bro.
No pun
Nothing was the
intended.
same.
Yeah,
No
pun
pun
intended.
intended.
Actually.
It's crazy.
I actually heard The Weeknd for the first time on his Trust Issues remix. And that's when I was like, okay, this guy's fire. And then I heard the trilogy and I was like, okay, I'm blown away by the production on this. And just it was so similar to MJ, like Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it was still The Weeknd though. Like you would know if you hear it, you're like, if I show somebody who used to listen to Michael Jackson, if I show them The Weeknd, they'll be like, okay, this sounds like Michael Jackson, but this is someone else. And like, I think I love that so much. That it stands out. But my artists right now are The Weeknd, Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole, Big Sean is another one also. And like, because the thing is like I like the time that I started listening to these guys, I was going through a really hard time.
Yeah.
So listening to them till this day still brings me back to that time where I felt peace and I felt something amazing listening to these songs and these artists. And like I remember Power Trip came out by J. Cole too, and I was like, damn,
Yeah.
like this
What a
is it.
song.
Classic,
What a
bro.
song, man.
Amazing song with Miguel too. Shout out to Miguel too.
Yeah,
man.
shout out to Miguel.
All those artists you just named, I can see you making a song with them.
I would
Just
love
because,
to.
just because, as I said before, like how versatile you are, and like you're adapting, your voice is changing. I can see it. Like there's like Weeknd 100%. I can see on every song of yours.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually tweeted this out, to be honest with you, which is funny. I tweeted out that every album or mixtape that I make, I always make sure there's one song on there that I can see The Weeknd on, just in case he just comes across this song and he goes, damn, let me jump on this. So it's like I always like this one song on the last album, Wavy, straight The Weeknd.
Bro, I was gonna
Straight.
mention the Wavy because I was bumping it yesterday, and I'm like, swear to you, I was like, bro, listen, because it sounds better than the original song that the guy made. I'm pretty sure it's like
Yeah, so that's funny too, because I actually didn't know that he used that sample. Also, the sample I actually one of my boys, when he heard the snippet to Wavy wasn't done at the time, and I wasn't planning on finishing Wavy. When he heard it, he's like, this is the King Von beat. So
Really?
originally King Von
Yeah.
used it, I think, first. So I was like, this sample is fire. Like, it's just, and I was just messing around. I was like, I'm not gonna drop it. It's whatever. But then like, it's same goes for the song Parlay. Like these songs that I don't ever have any intentions of finishing, when I do, they always end up like the top songs.
I feel that's the
Which is-
story. It's like every song you don't want to.
Yeah,
like,
exactly,
does damage to you.
exactly. And I hate it. I hate just listening to like, oh, you should finish this, and I'm just like, damn, now you're gonna make me go back. I have to work on this, and I have to finish. And I didn't even like. I just had it as a demo, like okay, like whatever. I just like just an idea from it, but then I end up finishing it, and it
But
ends up
Wavy is
doing
such a
really
sick
well.
song, though. Wavy is actually a dope song. I don't know, in my
I
opinion.
appreciate that. No, I think Wavy. I honestly, when I first made the snippet, it was okay, but then when I finished it, I was like, okay, this song has potential. And then the video, just shooting the video for it was actually really fun.
Yeah.
It was like we had this idea like this because I'm into like I grew up on like horror and like all this stuff like so like I always want to interpret like old school classic movies like whether it's from like Disney Channel or like going from like Freddy versus Jason or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I just like to like add little hints of
Yeah.
like old school stuff just to feel connected to it.
Hmm.
And I feel like you guys are similar to like you guys probably grew up on the same stuff too.
Exact same, man.
So
Yes,
it's
sir.
nostalgic for us. It's like, oh, like he's bringing back like the Goosebumps vibes and like stuff like that, like the '90s, the original classics that they had.
Mhm.
So I love the
couldn't agree
'90s,
more.
man. I'll tell you, I love the '90s.
A lot of good shows, a lot of good music came out of the 90s.
Exactly. It was just it was a different time, bro. It was a different time.
All right. If you love the 90s so much, since you're such a visual person and everything we're talking about as far as your inspirations, what is your favorite album cover that you can think of from the 90s?
My favorite album cover from the '90s.
Yeah. Because your
Damn,
album
Russ.
covers are really unique. So obviously with artists, you want to stand out and have that perception of who you are, either mysterious or direct.
Yeah.
So the album cover plays a huge role. And also
Yes,
you talked
sir.
about how much you loved music, the strings, and just
Yes,
everything
sir.
that has on you.
Yes, sir.
Album covers for a person like you probably adore it, like myself. So what's your favorite album cover from the 90s?
It's gonna sound funny, but there's this Jagged Edge album cover where it's all white in the back and they're just standing and the camera's kind of lower to them.
I
And
remember.
I've always wanted, but I'm a solo person. I'm not in a boy band, so I can't
No.
really create
I
that.
never, you know what's
So,
funny? I never liked the album cover. I
the
never
album
liked it.
cover for the Jagged Edge. I don't remember the name of it, but I remember the picture so clearly, bro. It's a white background, and I believe they're wearing white too. And
Yeah,
like,
it's like the first
yeah,
album, right?
yeah, I think so. I believe
Yeah, that's like
so.
the first
But
album. I think it came out like 98 or something like that.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
98,
So
99.
that like that, and actually, I don't think it's not the '90s, but the 50 Cent album cover where I believe it's Get Rich or Die Trying, where he's standing there and it's like
Oh
a cracked
man.
glass, bro. When
Yeah.
I tell you, I
Tough
had
album.
that. Bro. I remember that's my first CD that I ever had. That I had my dad buy for me at the time because I was so young.
Yeah.
He had a Lincoln at the time. It was like the long Lincolns, those cars.
Yeah,
course.
yeah, yeah.
So he had a silver one, and I remember every time we'd get to the house, he'd park up, and I'd be like, "Wait, just let this song finish. Let me listen to this song," and then we go inside, and it's so like that's what I grew up on, stuff like that, And I remember even when In the Club came out, bro, it was like
Nothing was the same. It just
exactly. It was
bro.
just such a different time, and it's like
Pun intended
wow.
this time.
Pun
bro.
intended this time. Yes, yes, yes. Pun
Bro.
intended this time. But I think the Jagged Edge and I think the 50 Cent one, if I could, because like I love having like artwork on my walls. Like I have these frames in the back, and like I got this new Kobe one that's a holographic one.
That's
And
sick.
yeah, it moves every
Oh.
time. Every time I walk out or walk in, it's a different picture each time. If I could get the 50 Cent one, I'd get the 50 Cent one for sure.
Bro,
'Cause
that
that's a
album,
good time.
that is marketing at its apex. Because everyone
Absolutely.
obviously was so amazed and just all over the
Yeah.
place about the 9 shots. As a kid, I'm like, what? He actually got shot 9 times?
And he
And when you
actually
saw the
did,
album
which is
cover,
crazy.
when you saw
Yes.
the album cover, it's like,
It's a
what?
bullet in the glass. It's a bullet in the glass. It's a shattered
So you-
glass from a bullet.
You can put
It's
that on a
so
CD?
crazy. That's
I was
what
like, you put it on a
I'm saying.
Oh man, that was
Exactly. There's
genius,
just the
bro.
creativity
Yeah.
back then was just something different. These days, I don't want to knock anybody's thing, and I'm not talking about any specific person, but these days, it's so simple. Like
Yeah,
there's
it's
not
more
much
simple,
to it.
It's actually interesting you guys say that because I was watching the video of T-Pain. He went off on a rant.
Yes,
saying, "Oh, you
yes,
guys sound the
yes,
same."
yes. Do something different. Change the music, and he's
I
just
agree.
wilding out. I agree
I
with
agree.
him 100%. Absolutely.
I feel certain artists I feel like because I grew up on like Lil Wayne, Jay Z, The Game, 50 Cent, and like Eminem and all those artists. So
Yeah.
obviously, like back then, I feel like the quality of music was a little bit better because they weren't dropping a lot. Like when Lil Wayne would drop or like Jay Z, like you would want to listen to it or 50 Cent. But now you see a lot of like these new artists. Again, I'm not gonna mention no names. I feel like a lot of them do sound the same in the sense
No,
where
I agree.
they'll drop one song and it's not. And for me, like that's why I just like listening to new artists who know like new artists, people who are just like upcoming because I feel like they are trying to prove something. Like they have a hunger. Like you said, like you're so
Yes,
humble talking about yourself, saying, in my opinion, like you're like one like in my opinion, like your music is amazing. Like it should be
I
showed
appreciate that. Thank
worldwide.
you.
And I feel as if like whenever that opportunity gets to rise, I feel like people are gonna love your music and then be fucking with you for like
I hope so. I hope
forever.
so. I hope so.
But
That's the goal. That's the goal.
it brings me to my next question. Do you feel like Corona affected music in a sense where obviously like we were locked down for so long, people could may not have not enjoyed certain music because they're in Corona. Maybe not a lot of performances. So do you feel like COVID played a
Yeah.
blessing, or was it hard to deal with like making music and stuff like that?
Honestly, me being an indoor homebody type of person, it didn't really affect me personally. But as far as other artists, I can see where like, cause like there were concerts going on nonstop. You know, people were doing concerts here, there. There was always like, oh, we're coming to this city. I feel like it affected them. But
Yeah,
as far as like music wise, yeah, I get people didn't get to enjoy it as much, but also people had no choice but to stay at home. So if
for
you were
sure.
dropping at the time, it was like, okay, even if I don't fuck with this artist, if I don't mess with them, let me just let me check it out because I got nothing to do. I'm home. I literally I can't go nowhere. Let me just branch out. Let me see because a lot of people actually I do know branched out to a whole bunch of different things. So I feel like it was a blessing and it was a curse because now it just made everybody lazy. So now it's like
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of people that I talk to just don't feel like they be out all the time. Like yeah, and honestly that scares me also because like I have music that I want to drop that's like I want you guys to go out. I want you guys to enjoy it, blast it in your cars. But a lot of people now are just like, man, honestly, now it's gonna take so much for you to make me get ready and go outside now. And it's like, damn, like, do I have to make music for indoors now? Do I but slowly I feel like people are gonna just start going out. But coronavirus did do a lot of because here's the thing: if you're an artist, you travel a
Yeah.
lot,
hmm
you take
of
flights a
course.
lot. So I think it did make it complicated for that because I travel a lot, and I think that's the blessing of this job that I have, this career, this work that I do. It allows me to travel to different places, but it's been on hold ever since coronavirus happened. I think the only place I've been to is Houston, Texas, and that's about it
That's
Damn,
insane.
for
that's
the
actually
past two
insane.
years. And yeah, and I was to the point where I was like more than half of my year was on flights. It just
Whoa.
completely stopped. Yeah, it was insane. Like I was going back and forth to California, or I'd go to Dubai, or it was like there was a big stop on that. I apologize. That was my hookah. That was my shisha. So
No,
that
What
all
was
flavor?
good.
I honestly I was gonna light it up, but I was like, let me just be professional for once. Let me not smoke it.
Nah, bro, it's
Let me
all good.
keep it on the
If I
side.
could do it at home, believe me, I'd be doing
Bro, if I could show you right now, I have three lined up right here,
it.
right next to me. And I was like, okay, the whole time right before because I woke up, I went to Long Island, but when I came back is when I had breakfast. While I'm having breakfast, which is at lunchtime, while I'm having breakfast, I was like, what am I gonna smoke today? What flavor should I make today? Are you guys big on shisha?
I am.
Mom.
I don't do shisha.
All right, cool, cool, cool,
I am.
cool,
I
cool.
am.
Yeah, no, I've been doing it. I think I've been actually smoking shisha longer than I've been making music. I'll be be
Say
completely
word.
honest with
That's
you.
fun.
Yeah, I
That's
tried it.
funny.
I think I tried it for the first time when I was 15 at a lounge.
15.
15. Yeah, I've had some bad influences around me, bro. I don't know what to tell you. I've had some really bad influences, but I don't like because a lot of people do ask me. I don't smoke weed. I don't drink. This is like the
Yeah.
only thing that I do
Yeah.
that's like, and also just being because I'm Muslim, right? I'm
Mhm.
100% Muslim. Just those things. growing up in a Muslim household in Islam, it's those things are like, it's they're forbidden. So it's
Yeah,
like you
yeah,
gotta,
yeah.
so that was, and I'm very, I love my religion. I love our religion so much. And I've been going closer to it these days. That's why I haven't really been dropping too much music. Because I've been just trying to find, like, I'm just learning so much, being born a Muslim, growing up a Muslim, but there was just so much that I didn't know. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
now I'm like I'm doing more research on it, and it's just so beautiful, and it's
Beautiful,
so
bro.
peaceful. It's alhamdulillah, it's so beautiful, man. Like I love it. I love it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And also
Definitely.
that speaks to your character, right? It's not about being one way while wishing for the other, right? Like
Yeah,
obviously we all want to be the best, but at the end of the day, we gotta walk that road. We just gotta be on that pathway
absolutely.
alone. And
Absolutely.
everyone works at their own pace. And the fact
Exactly.
that you're being truth about it, you're sharing with us and the audience is incredible. Now,
Always,
I have
always.
I have I have a question for you. Since
Yes.
you're from New York, have you ever been to Summer Jam?
No, absolutely not. I have not been to Summer Jam. So we have a rule out here in New York.
What's the rule?
If you go to the Statue of Liberty, or if you go to any of these little tourist places, you're not actually from New York.
Okay,
A
Really?
okay,
lot
okay.
of
I can
people
see that.
from New
But
York
but
have
it's Summer
never
Jam.
gone.
This
It's
Summer
Summer Jam.
Jam.
Yeah, yeah, it is Summer Jam. We also have this thing in Coney Island where it's similar to Summer Jam. Doja Cat was actually just here recently too.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, I haven't even gone to that either. I'll be honest with you.
But if you were to go to Summer Jam, let's imagine like they told like Hot 97's like, yo, we want you to perform at Summer Jam as the main headlining act. And you bring out
Absolutely.
a guest feature. Who'd you bring out?
I
That's
just want to
hard,
say,
man. That's
I just want
hard.
to say, I'll be at that. If I'll be at
Man,
that
listen, you
performance.
guys will be with me backstage. It's not even like, oh, we're gonna like you guys are coming with me. Absolutely. But there's a lot of names that come to mind. I'll be very honest with you. Like I'm gonna tell you guys right now, I'm a huge Drake fan. If you don't know that, just by listening to my music, then it's
I
like
got that
okay,
vibe. I
yeah,
got that vibe.
I hear the influence. I hear the influence.
very very influenced by Drake. The first time I heard Drake was "Find Your Love" in high school, and I was like, who
Mhm.
is this guy? And then I heard
Mm.
"Forever." I think it's "Forever" or "Over." I heard "Over."
Yeah,
And
from the
I
same
was like,
album.
okay, yeah. And then I started hearing these songs that didn't come out, like "Stun on
Crazy.
You," and I was like, oh, I was like, this guy's really good. And then "Take Care" dropped. So honestly, the first person I that does come to mind is Drake. I would definitely, if I was able to, if I had the permission to, I would definitely bring out Drake. I have a lot of love for Drake. I have a lot of love for The Weeknd. I feel like J. Cole is another one. ASAP Rocky actually also. ASAP
ASAP,
Rocky,
man.
growing up on ASAP, Two Chains too. It's like in high school, just like these guys held the game so differently, along with Wheezy. It was just so wild, bro. It was just. But I think Drake. If I could bring out Drake to Summer Jam, that'd be insane. That would just
That'd be crazy. Yeah,
imagine
at the moment. That's a
because
moment.
Drake has this effect. Drake, and I look up to Drake as a businessman, as an artist. Like hands down, he's one of the top artists. Not if not one of, he is the top
Of
artist
course. Of
in the
course.
world. So it's like, being influenced by such a great artist that's number one in the world right now. It's
For
like
real.
the effect is different. Like if you ever watch any of his concerts or have been to one, I've been to one. I was lucky enough to go to Coachella where Future was performing, and he brought out Drake at the time, and it's a whole different vibe. Like people are just going crazy.
Yeah, it's also cool because you said how you said you first saw listen to Drake, and I can sense the influence from your music, but like where I could sense a Drake, and it's interesting how you said the first song you listened to was "Find Your Love." For a lot of people in Toronto, like I think for me, it was like the first song was probably like 2007. It was a song called "City Is Mine,"
Yes,
but
I remember City is Mine.
and
I've listened to his
I'm
whole music career, bro.
because for the longest time, if you ask any Canadian specifically, like Toronto was like basically mini New York. Like, we listened to like a lot of like American rappers. We'll even dress
Yes,
up like them, right? So when Drake
yeah.
popped off, it was like that's our guy.
That's ours. Like that's something we did. No,
Well,
absolutely, absolutely,
so it
absolutely.
was
I
it was legit
understand.
insane. So to see obviously the impact that he's done, like the how he's given back to certain like artists like Bryson Tiller, The Weeknd,
Yeah,
how he's obviously even all these young like Lil Uzi, Lil like what's his face, Lil Baby, the Baby, all these guys like he's helped up their careers. It's such amazing. I feel as if he's definitely opened a gateway for a lot of artists to go up because
absolutely.
Drake. if you go back to Drake's career, he wasn't the face of like Young Money. It was Tyga and Nicki Minaj. Like
Yeah, yeah.
no one was really like effing with Drake. It was like, who is this guy singing and rapping at the same time,
Yep, yep. I
right?
remember
So
too. I remember I had a friend in high school. His name was Robbie. He came and I think he was going to, I don't remember if it was the Weekend or or Drake's signing. It was an album signing. I believe it was Drake's. It was
Oh,
at
okay.
Best Buy out here for Take Care, I believe. And everyone was just like, and that's the time where I was like, I really mess with Drake. Like I like his music, but everybody else was like, oh yeah, we don't really care. Like, you know, okay, cool, have fun. And I was like, damn, like you guys don't like Drake? Like, and then like seeing these videos, like you guys have Just Rain from Canada too, and he'll be like, bro, like, do you even listen to Drake, bro? And I'll be like, yeah, this is exactly how I feel too. It's
it's
he's,
actually
he's
like Take
yeah.
Care. The song Take Care. The song, not the song Take Care. The song from Take Care will be fine. I can also hear you on it. I don't know why.
I
I
would,
feel like
yeah, no,
if
I'll
you
tell
do a
you right
remix
now.
on it,
Yeah,
I
so
would.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was about to tell you. So I don't there's so much music that I have, and I'll tell you, I've remixed probably like I've remixed Marvin's Room. I just never put it out. I've remixed so many songs off of Take Care, Nothing Was the
That's
Same.
hard.
I want to hear that
It's
remix of
this
Marvin's Room.
That's a really hard song to remix. Marvin's Room. That's a
Marvin's Room,
really hard
yeah,
song.
it is, but there's a lot of
So
people who did it really well though.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a
That's
lot
true.
of people.
I feel like you
JoJo.
underestimate yourself because man, like you're such a talented artist and
Nah,
songwriter.
man, this I
Uh,
have to. I have to.
which is amazing because a lot of people like in different positions will be like, nah, my music is this is that, but for you to be that humble, obviously your music speaks for itself. It's not like you have to tell yourself. Like someone is telling you your music is good. That's even better than telling yourself your music is good. For someone to go
Absolutely,
and tell you
absolutely.
that, and it brings you back to my next question because I keep hearing about new music. When are we gonna hear some new music from you?
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have music laying around, but I just don't know where I want to go with it. So, and I'll be very honest for the fans that are gonna be listening to this. I do have some bad news. I don't think I'll be dropping an album this year. I
The whole
Really,
year?
think,
the
yeah,
whole year.
I think Messy was probably the only song that's coming out for this year, unfortunately. But I will be back. I will 100% be back. Hopefully next fall. I know that's a long
That's a
time.
long
I know
time.
it's a long time, but the thing is, now I'm in such a place after seeing my last album just skyrocket and hit 1 million in less than 6 months. It's like it inspired me so much to the point where I want to perfect the next project now.
Mm.
So it's like I want
So
to
you're
take my
taking the
time.
time,
Yes, exactly. And
which is fair.
I want it to be basically what Take Care and Nothing Was the Same for me. I want the next project. I wanted the last album to be this for people, and it was. But I want the next one to be like, okay, you know what? Last album was we thought this was it, but like now the next album is like, damn, like we don't know what to like, you know, it's just he keeps coming back and he keeps doing this and he keeps giving us better music and better production, and like I've invested in new equipment too now, so it's like everything's gonna be crisp, clear. So taking my time.
it's
I
it's a
yeah,
it's a year away, but I respect the fact that you're taking your time, the fact that you took it because like within 6 months, like hit a million streams is amazing, right? And
yeah.
when I saw that, I was like, I want to mention on the podcast again and again, guys, go support Sal Houdini. Keep listening to his music. His music
Yes.
is fire.
Thank you,
And the
thank you,
fact that you want to make us wait a year, I can only imagine how amazing your music is going to be.
thank you. I really do hope so, and I do want to take my time with it. I actually made the decision early in the year, and I spoke to, like I told you guys, like I have a crew of people that listen to this. Like it's my guys. These are my boys. These are my best friends,
Yeah, yeah.
and I always go to them about every decision, and I even went to them about this decision too, and they're like, no. They're like, don't do that. They're like, right now, look at your like everything's going up for you. Why would you just go away? And I
That's the
was,
thing.
yes, exactly. They're like,
I'm
why
trying
would
to
you
figure
go
that
away?
out.
So, and I've been studying the numbers. I've been looking at the stats and everything. And I just dropped a single in June last month after I want to say 7 months
Mhm.
Yeah.
since the album dropped. And in those 7 months and that time span, the numbers just kept going up. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
so I haven't dropped, but they're still
They're
going
still
up. It's still
listening.
rising. So I
So,
was like, okay, so they'll probably be patient enough. Hopefully, be patient enough for another project. But I need
yeah.
some time for it. You know,
So
That's a really big risk.
what
it's
if
a
for
very big risk.
but what if, for example, like an artist, whether it's local, whether it's like somewhat within Hollywood, asks you to be on a song? Would you like be open to like within this year?
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. No, there's collabs that I've been working on this year as I've been quiet with music.
Yeah.
Um, but as far as like I haven't like we're in talks right now, and there's a lot of collaborations that could happen. It just depends because there's music that gets made, but it never sees the light of day.
Of course.
Yeah.
So
Of
so
course.
who knows what can happen? I can probably even drop. To be honest with you, I'll be very honest with you. I got this one song that I just made probably 2 days ago, and I've been thinking about dropping it like now, like ASAP. So
Bro, you're making me want to hear these songs.
yeah, I don't know what's the plan for that song, but as far as music though, I do have a special project coming in the fall this year, but
Mhm.
I don't want to say too much about it. I,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say expect new music though. That's
Yeah.
all I want to say. Don't expect it to be like, oh, like he's dropping, and like I don't know. Anything could happen. Anything could happen. Maybe change my mind at the end of the year. Like, you know what, I
Absolutely.
want
You
to
never
drop
know.
drop an EP or something. But as for
You never
now,
know.
the past 6 7 months, my decision has strictly been not this year.
Well, clearly after the 6 7 months that you haven't dropped, like look, all these numbers have been rising. Like
Yes,
people are
yes.
just showing us like they're still listening to your music and messing with you. That within itself is a nice feeling and to have.
It is. It's a great feeling to have, but like you said, the upcoming artist in me, the hunger in there, it's just, it's different. Like
Wow.
no matter what, like I do see the numbers rising, and these guys around me, they see them too, and they're so proud. But I'm just there, like, no, why are you proud? Like this is nothing. This should be a whole different number. Like this, I shouldn't, like I gotta keep going. Like
Yeah.
don't give me my flowers right now, basically. Give me my flowers when I actually do feel like I deserve them. Right now I don't. Like right now it's still, I'm working. I'm
Yeah.
perfecting it, and there's so much I can do. So
Yeah. I respect that, man. The fact that,
yeah,
like, once again, what you're saying, you do not corrupt the art at all. The art is the art.
exactly,
It only happens once in a moment, right? So
exactly,
why not have it the way that you want to have it for us to digest forever? What
exactly,
is the
exactly.
timeless classic records, right?
Yep,
So
yep,
I respect that,
exactly.
bro.
That's
Especially in this
that's my
era,
thing.
I respect that
Yeah,
a lot.
and I've actually come across a lot of artists too, who will get their little 5 minute of fame, and I don't want to talk down. I'm not talking down on them, but it's like
It's
just
the
seeing
chicken dance.
they yeah they get very like cocky and like, oh, like you know who I am, and like this and that, like, oh, why would I do a song with you? And then those same people have come back to me recently, like, oh, like, hey man, like, we should do something together. And I just look at it and I'm just like, yeah, I don't even respond at this point. I'm just
It's
like, nah,
actually
man.
interesting that you mentioned that. I know because early on within like our like I guess podcast and our business that me and Mo were doing, a lot of people promised us a lot of stuff like, yo, we'll do this for you, we'll do this for you. And
Yeah,
now, because I guess we're at a certain point, we're getting different guests. Like I'm like, obviously, we're going to network. They hit me back up saying, "Oh, do you still want that logo?" I'm like, "The logo's already done. Like you lost your chance like
yeah,
years
yeah, yeah.
ago."
It's over. It's over. And I believe that's karma. So
On their end, yeah.
yeah, that's karma. And even if you don't respond, that's still karma. That's like, oh,
Of
look,
course, of
like
course.
you were so like, and I personally, I don't like that. It's like, look, like I do this for fun. Like I love making music. I would never, like, I can't. It's just, I've seen it happen, and it's a turn off, man. It's I don't find it cool. Like people going, oh, like, yeah, like I'm this guy, like, bro, like if you want to be that guy, that's fine by me. I just want to make some music. I want people to enjoy it. I would love to have a show where people come out and they're just like, they're vibing to it as much as I am. And I think that's what it's all about. Not about, it's all about clout these days. And that's the whole, like, I think that's what's
Mhm.
messing it up a lot, bro. That's the whole clout thing. Like you see like these, you know, I don't want to name no specific artist, 6ix9ine. But like you see like these trolls and this clout chase, and it's
Unfortunately, same borough as well too.
same borough, and it's making us
Same
look bad,
borough.
and it's bad, man. It's bad.
Yeah,
You got even to the point where he's beefing with Snoop. Like, what are you
yeah.
doing,
It doesn't make any
bro?
sense,
Like,
man. It doesn't make any
what's
Oh,
sense.
wrong with
he
you?
is
Like,
beefing with Snoop.
he's yeah. Like, what's
It doesn't make any sense, man.
That's Snoop is the way we see Snoop is he's an OG.
OG,
Like
OG.
you don't do stupid troll stuff with an OG. Like do it. Okay,
No,
fine. You want to do it with people your own age and your own like category. That's fine. But like you're going out here and you're doing all this crazy stuff, and it's like, bro, like I don't know. That's one thing I can't tag along to. That's never something I could like. You know, I can't mess with that. I cannot mess with that.
agreed.
That's not my thing. But yeah, man, it is what it is. Hopefully, you know, one day Summer Jam does hit us up, man. Hopefully, hopefully it
Inshallah,
does.
bro.
Inshallah, that's the
That one day
plan.
is coming soon.
I
I do
hope
want
so,
to
man.
I do want to thank you for coming on, bro. I know
Thank
we
you. I
promised
appreciate
you
you guys
a
for
40-minute
having me, man.
episode, but we're almost
No,
reaching an
absolutely.
hour.
Absolutely. I do
I
appreciate
don't-
you guys for having me, man. I'm telling you, this is my first one. I'm not gonna ever forget it. I do appreciate you guys for
I'm
this.
not.
Thank you
Again,
so
I'm
much.
not. I feel like I've had an amazing conversation. We want to get you back again. Hopefully, maybe
I
when you
would
drop
love
that
to.
album.
Man, look, I before we even did this, I was thinking like if I drop an album, whenever I do, I would love to come out to Toronto and do a face-to-face interview with you guys, and it'd be awesome, man. If you guys are ever down for that, I'm
100%. Either we come
absolutely
down to
down.
Brooklyn.
Either way, you guys are always welcome here. We'll treat you guys
Oh, I
like family.
appreciate that,
We
bro.
got you, man. We got you guys out here
Appreciate that.
for sure.
Before we let you go, let our fans know where they can find you. Well, I'll put in my link in bio as well.
Yes, sir. You can find me on Instagram, Sal_Houdini. You can find me on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, any streaming platform. You know, we're out here. Just give it a listen if you enjoy it and you appreciate it. I appreciate you. You show love, I show love. That's how it goes.
Respect,
Respect
bro.
always, man.
I
Thank you, man.
appreciate that.
Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys, man.